What's happening, everybody? It's Sean with reactions to the classics, and today we got a reaction to Delays. Their album Faded Seaside Glamour, brought to us by a friend, longtime supporter and patron of the channel, Joseph. Thank you, Joseph. Appreciate you. Appreciate all the patrons who make this thing go. If you'd like to support us in any way, check out the Patreon link below or the Patreon link on the end screen. I've done one of their songs. One of our other patrons, Richard, it appeared on the underrated bands list, which featured a long time coming from this album. I don't remember that at all, just because I record so much stuff. But Joseph remembered it. He liked it. So he chose these guys. So usually Joseph, the albums he chooses, Joseph knows a lot about music. So he usually has this great background. He doesn't know anything about this. So we're left with my research. And there's not a lot on them, but a little background. They're an English indie band formed in Southampton, which consisted of brothers Greg Gilbert and Aaron Gilbert, Colin Fox, and Rowley, until Greg Gilbert's death in 2021. He died of cancer, 5-year battle. The band's sound combines guitar and synths and features Greg Gilbert's distinctive falsetto lead vocals. They released 4 albums, the first 3 of which made the top 30 in the UK. This album itself, Faded Seaside Glamour, is their debut studio album, released in April of 2004. After the end of their previous band, Corky, the members formed Delays. Lead singer Greg Gilbert recruited his brother Aaron, a keyboardist, into the band after hearing him play a loop. The band signed to Rough Trade Records after its founder, Jeff Travis, saw them perform live. They're considered an indie pop and dream pop. This album especially is compared to the works of the Cocteau Twins, Geneva, and the Laws. And Greg Gilbert's vocals have been compared to those of Stevie Nicks and Liz Fraser. Music critics gave it generally favorable reviews. Some critics praised the band's musicianship, and others highlighted Gilbert's vocals. So if you've never joined us before, the music will not be in the video, but it will be at a Vimeo link below. So I encourage you to click on it and follow along with me. Let's kick this thing off. I will get to the album opener. It's Wanderlust, written by Greg Gilbert. Aaron, though, programmed the sampled steel drums to serve the same purpose as the elaborate guitar feedback on My Bloody Valentine's Loveless. Another reaction we have up, and if you've never heard it, it'll be a different listening experience for you. I really recommend you go check it out. I'm going to have the lyrics up as always. Thanks again, Joseph. Wanderlust. Just a vibe, man. One of those songs where the lyrics don't appear, or the song title doesn't appear in the lyrics. It's basically about, he's talking to somebody who doesn't see the, you don't see the high, you only see the lows. You don't see all the things that you have that are good because you want to dwell on the bad. So it's kind of a negative song at this person. Can you hear that knocking in your soul? No, you don't listen. Can you hear that knocking overload? No, you don't listen. No wonder you lay twitching. Do you share the rush to be alone? Come over. We'll go missing. Just trying to get, imagine a girl to come over. We'll go where there's no snow. Just please don't give me your word. They do all that. Can you hear that knocking in your soul? No, you don't listen. So that's the idea. But the soundscape of this, man, the atmosphere is just fantastic. And I'm going to tell you what, if you didn't know Greg Gilbert was Greg Gilbert, you would think it was a female singing, right? That falsetto is so high up there with the mix and the arrangement. I mean, wonderful guitar work, wonderful sense. It just has that great, pleasant sound to it. Next up, we have Nearer Than Heaven, also written by Greg. All of them are written by Greg, but a few Aaron jumps in on. It's the lead single. It originally reached 91 on the UK charts, but it was reissued in March of 2004, and it peaked at number 21. When Greg wrote it in 1998, he thought it dealt with Catholic guilt, but in 2020, he said, now I think it's about finding the transcendent in everyday life. So he thinks it means something different now. Never know. Nearer Than Heaven. A little abstract lyrically. I mean, there's a little bit of death in there, but I'm not really sure that's what it's about. I'm not seeing him descending down, but it's just the soundscape, man. Like, this song could have went on for another 5 minutes. I love the soundscape, the instrumentation. I love Greg's voice. It's just soothing, right? It's like another instrument in there. And if you guys watch this channel, I'm a big lyrics guy, and I know Joseph is as well. But I mean, sometimes you just want to, you just want to chill, man, and vibe with the atmosphere. And that was fantastic. We'll get to the only song that I quote know, although we'll see if I remember listening to it. We got Long Time Coming. Aaron helped Greg write this one. It's the 3rd single, went to 16 in the UK. Greg supposedly sings in a slightly rougher tone than the rest of the album. Aaron wrote the track's synth part, in which he tried to emulate the sound of a creaking door from a dream he had. The band wrote the song in the Gilbert's parents' house. Greg said it's about their friend Steve, who died in a car crash in 2003. Long Time Coming. I sort of remember this. I mean, it seemed familiar to me. I mean, I'd only listened to it once, but it seemed a little bit familiar to me. But I could tell the difference in Greg's voice. He was a little rougher. I mean, still sounded fantastic. Just fantastic, man. The instrumentation on here, the keys, even the guitar work, right? It's not going to be over the edge. It's not going to be shredding or give you a bunch of solos in here. But all of it just works so well together. And once again, Greg's voice is just another instrument in there. I mean, it always is, so to speak. But in this kind of music, it truly is. Now, those top 3 songs are definitely the most popular on Spotify, at least. But we're going to go to Bedroom Scene. Also, Aaron helped Greg write this one. Greg wrote the lyrics in a field near his parents' house while its melody was borrowed from a song by the Smiths. It evokes Rhiannon from Fleetwood Mac due to its melancholy atmosphere. Its muted piano saw comparison to the work of U2 and their album War. And the palm muted guitar parts to the music of Mike and the Mechanics. It was initially intended to be a B-side, but the band liked the way the track sounded during recording. Aaron often played the piano section when the rest of the band were preparing to rehearse. It eventually evolved into a song when the other members began playing along to it. And there's a lot of great stories in music where that has happened, where the warm-up melody becomes an actual song. But they also have another song on here that's going to have the same story of where it was going to be a B-side. And they're like, wait a minute, man, this is good enough to put on the album. All right, Bedroom Scene. Now, that song wasn't a horrible song by any means, but I just wasn't feeling this one. But I mean, maybe that's partly because the first 3 songs were absolute bangers. I thought the standout on this was a much more hardcore guitar work, right? By Greg, he plays the guitar. The keyboard work by Aaron is really good on here. And Rowley, one name, drumming is also pretty darn good on this one. It hits just a little bit harder. And maybe that's why I wasn't feeling it, just a contrast from the other songs. But like I said, not a horrible song. Now we go to No Ending. Greg said the song was inspired by Michael Head and his previous band, Shaq. No Ending. So a little more defined lyricism here. Basically, this person's leaving him. You've seen me panic and kick without sight of any danger except what I might know of myself and seeing you tonight. Following me when you come down, the air is thin and hard to breathe. So in other words, I'm going to be waiting for you with sweetness that you lost to me. Despite this noose around our kiss, which I thought was interesting to revisit that line a lot, I try to tell myself this is no ending. So the relationship's breaking up. And so I think a little bit more than those first 3 songs, the dreamscape, the atmosphere is a little more, I don't want to say anxiety ridden, but it has a little more emotion because you feel the fact that he's like, I keep telling myself this is no ending, even though he knows that it's over. So I thought that was a good change up there. Next up, we have You Wear the Sun, which was another one of those tracks that was supposed to be a B-side, and they liked it so much they threw it on the album. You Wear the Sun. Colin Fox got to put the bass work on there a bit, and I thought Greg's guitar was fantastic, and Aaron's keyboards really shine through as well. You know, I thought that this was a little more full instrumentation. I think the song itself, You Wear the Sun, I think he's singing to somebody who lives a fast life, right? Hey, baby, there's something wrong. You burned away, you wear the sun. And maybe I slept too long and missed the game. He can't keep up. And now you're gone, you wear the sun. Yeah, if I could, I would leave you alone. So just kind of delves that out. But I thought the way Greg holds that, you wear the sun, you know, I'm not gonna try to do that. I'll spare you that. But I thought that was really, really well done. All right, we're already halfway done. We go to Hey Girl. Second single went to 40 in the UK. Hey Girl, perfect little song there. Short, great melody, just basically a little love song to this girl in a little different way in the way that Greg writes. It's not a straight on, but the guitar work on there was fantastic, right? The building, the melodies, a little bit of harmonies coming in there. Just really like that one. Next up, we have Stay Where You Are. Aaron helped Greg write this one. Stay Where You Are. You know, that song was 4 minutes, 43 seconds, really. I didn't play the last 2 seconds there. And it didn't seem like it. Like, that is the thing on their songs, and most of them are shorter, but even the ones that are a little bit longer don't seem like. Now, this song was kind of like a dream popscape mixed with almost some influences, especially on that guitar and that riff, that first 40 seconds, but it came on later with the heavy guitar work of a Britpop, almost like it definitely different than anything that's been on here. And I enjoyed it. It shows their versatility. I don't think it's what they do best, but I thought it was done pretty well. Next up, we have There's Water Here. Greg says it's a companion to Wanderlust, our opening track, highlighting the guitar riff and its lyrics as being related. I can see some similarities with Wanderlust. He's not quite as much into the dream pop vocal performance on this one, Greg isn't, as he was on Wanderlust, but intricate guitar work, just fantastic little guitar work there. You know, an abstract song to say, don't look down, looks like trouble, distant sound, must be trouble. All that I have learned goes out the window when I'm not home. And so, you know, misplacement, traces of some other sound is rushing up to meet me because I'm not home. I'm not home. There's water here to last all year. Just don't rush me. Don't make me crawl. So can I have another day to think? Can I take the shade beneath the trees? So there's water here to last all year. So that's where you get there's water at. But yeah, a good tune. We got 3 tracks left. We got Satellites Lost. It's supposedly about Greg's anxiety he had about traveling. Satellites Lost, definitely pushing into some dreamscape, dream pop there, right? Especially with that closing. But I thought that song was really good. I mean, I didn't get, you know, his anxiety about travel, and I got more kind of a unrequited love, right? The Satellites Lost. Where's the fire gone? Deeper down, he knows there's still a chance to find it. But should he stay lost? You are the reason. You are the cause. The satellite's lost, but I know that he wants you. I know you're there. I can hear you breathe. It only takes a minute. You know, maybe the article was wrong that I read and said that this song was about his traveling anxiety. But regardless, a really good song. Next up, we have One Night Away. Greg said he wrote it in Edinburgh while listening to Big Star. Shout out to Big Star. One Night Away, man. Some great harmonies on the right. And throughout these songs, I haven't pointed them out all the time, but a lot of the songs have great harmonies or counterpoint harmonies to Greg, right? Counterpoint harmonies in the choruses and a lot of times. But just a very pretty song. This kind of encapsulates what this album's been, and I'm not going to give you, I have a few thoughts on this song that would fit in with the overall album, but I'll give that to you at the end on the album. And the song itself, I think, is kind of about, you know, one night away, but after that, it's kind of over, right? There's nothing in the morning, just flowers and a feeling that yesterday was stalling for time to let the scene in. So maybe they were together yesterday, but now that person's gone. So now he's like, okay, that was just delaying the inevitable, right? But you know how everything grows and you know the feeling is love, but you're one night away. You're one night away. That's the chorus. And he just sounds so good on that. All right, got one song left. We got On, although I see a bit of the lyrics. There's not many lyrics, but Aaron wrote this with Greg. It was referred to as the band's own iteration of I Am the Resurrection from the Stone Roses, the great Stone Roses, which Wanderlust, I thought the opening track had some Stone Rose-esque things here. Greg said they wanted a counterpoint to the opening of Wanderlust. Aaron came up with what his brother describes as the sound of ships leaving the harbor. All right, what's his vibe with this? On. As the song, no pun intended, went on, I enjoyed it more and more. It definitely was Stone Rose-esque, right? I don't think they were trying to hide that too much on there. But the longer it went on, the more I liked it. The guitar work was good, and just the on and on and on really stuck in the head. So at first, halfway through the song, I was going to take this was not the best way to end this album, but I get it now. It's a good bookend to the album. All right, now we're going to get to my favorite tracks. Honorable mention, No Ending, Satellites Lost, and One Night Away. So 2 of the last 3 songs. Faves, those first 3 songs, Wanderlust, Nearer Than Heaven, Long Time Coming, and Hey Girl. So that's 7 of the 12 favorites or honorable mention. Now we're going to get to my overall score. So here's the thing. This is definitely dream pop. There's a lot of other stuff in here, but mainly dream pop. I think Greg Gilbert's voice is unique. I really enjoy it, man. It fits his style of music perfectly. Aaron did a good job on keys. Colin on the bass, you know, it's not a big thing in music like this, but it's a necessity. It only stood out once or twice for me, but I mean, it's got to be there, right? And then Rowley on the drums, pretty good as well. I mean, this style of music is more the guitar and the keys than it is the drumming and the bass. But hey, you got to have that rhythm section there, and those guys did a good job. I thought their choruses, when they wanted to harmonize, were fantastic. I thought Greg's vocal playing around with it and the way he did things on certain songs was really good. There wasn't too many misses on here for me. This is one of those albums where I'm going to grade it objectively, and I'd say this album's probably like a 7.25. Right? But subjectively, I liked it a lot more than that. For me, it's something I'll listen to again, especially at night, put the headphones on, just vibe to it. The lyrics, the songs aren't horribly written. A lot of them are abstract, not a big deal. It's not really about that. And sometimes you need that, right? Just to kind of decompress. I don't want to listen to Dylan like constantly, even though I think he's the best songwriter of all time. I got to be in the mood to go that deep. But this kind of thing, you just throw on. So thank you to Joseph for picking up on this off Richard's list. Thank you to Richard for bringing it originally, or we wouldn't be here. But appreciate JSB bringing this one. Let me know what you think of this down below. What are your favorite songs? Also, what else should I check out from them? Rest in peace, Greg, gone way too soon. All right, guys, until next time, I will see you.